Alrighty, After the Thin Man is a cool movie about a dude. And I like it, and I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Would recommend, go see it. There we go, we're done.
Wow, that was easy. Are you gonna ask my opinion?
Nope, you're a woman, doesn't matter.
Wow, I'm gonna take that clip.
All right, we'll come. Oh, Nicky, I'm sorry, but I had to do it. Selma's in trouble. You like Selma, don't you?
Well, not that much. Family dinner, I suppose.
Huh?
Aunt Catherine, Uncle Willie, Cousin Emily.
Aunt Hattie, Cousin Lucius, Uncle Thomas. Pour me one, too.
Why are we talking about After the Thin Man, the second movie in the Thin Man series, and we're not talking about the first Thin Man movie?
Well, I mean, the first Thin Man movie was fine, but After the Thin Man was pretty much amazing because it had me laughing a lot, like in the first 20 minutes. Whereas the other one was like, that's kind of a cute, period movie. It's fun. But it didn't have the same chemistry and heart.
Have you made any New Year's resolutions?
Not yet. Any complaints or suggestions?
Few.
Which?
Complaints.
All right, shoot.
Well, you don't scold, you don't nag, and you look far too pretty in the mornings.
All right, I'll remember. Must scold, must nag, mustn't be too pretty in the mornings.
Yeah, I kind of feel like After the Thin Man takes a lot of the things that I really liked a lot in The Thin Man, because I think The Thin Man's a great movie as it is, but After the Thin Man takes all those great elements and kind of makes them a little bit more polished, a little bit funnier. The chemistry between William Powell and Myrna Loy is cranked up to 11 in After the Thin Man, when it was already great in The Thin Man. I just kind of feel like After the Thin Man is kind of the idealized version of everything I liked from the first movie.
Well, I think that the other thing about it too, right, is because, okay, so when you have a sequel, right, you're expecting it to be the same formula as the first movie. And for the most part, this one is, until the end, when it completely goes in another direction and has like a big twist that I was not expecting.
Going to take him tonight?
We're going to try. Come on, let's get something to eat. I'm thirsty.
Well, how are you going to do it?
I haven't the faintest idea. I'm just going to look and listen and pray that somebody makes a slip. Just one slip.
Should we start with the story or the characters? Because we're going to want to talk about the characters and their chemistry.
Well, the story's really confusing. Maybe we should start with the story because I don't even understand the story to this day.
Right, here's the thing about Thin Man movies. I've only seen the first 3, I think, so far. We haven't seen the next 3. There's 6 movies in total. We've only seen the first 3. And in all 3 of them, at a certain point, the plot just loses me, and I have no idea what's going on. The first Thin Man movie, I kind of got here and there what was going on, because these are murder mysteries at their heart. They're screwball murder mysteries, basically. Mm-hmm. And the first one lost me quite a few times, but I still enjoyed myself.
Waiter, will you serve the nuts? I mean, will you serve the guests the nuts?
And I was able to follow it just enough that I didn't lose interest. After the Thin Man, I feel like is at least a little bit cleaner, plot-wise, because it is super confusing, and especially probably around the halfway mark, they start bringing in other characters that all have these sort of tangential relationships to each other. It's kind of like, this person is married to this person, but this person who's married to this person is also in a relationship with this other person who's secretly in a relationship with this other person who's the sister of this person, and it gets really confusing really quickly because everyone has their own agendas here. But that's part of, I think, establishing the murder mystery and trying to figure out who done it, because everyone kind of has their own reasons for wanting to have the person killed. And so who done it?
He wouldn't kill Robert, Mr. Charles. He wouldn't have no reason.
I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just talking.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Nick Charles, who are from the first movie, are just coming back from their vacation from the first movie, where they solved a murder mystery in the first movie. Because the first movie ends with them on a train, and this one opens with them on the same train getting off and getting home. And they're looking forward to rest and relaxation for the New Year's. So this is a New Year's Eve movie.
And the first one was a Christmas movie.
So we'll see how many holidays we can knock out in this entire series.
All right, darling sugar, Happy New Year.
Nicky, you're bleeding.
Hmm? Oh, yes, a little accident.
And I know this New Year's traffic is terrible, isn't it?
Yes.
They get home and they get swept up into a domestic issue between
Nora's cousin.
her cousin. That's what I'm trying to figure
I
out.
think.
Yeah,
and Selma's jerk husband that nobody likes.
Yes, because he's gone missing, and long story short, the missing person's case turns into a murdered person's case, and they're all trying to figure out who had done it because he was mixed up with some shady people, and he was going to pay off another guy to, no, he wasn't going to pay off. I'm getting so confused already.
I give up.
Going all the way back to Selma, she has a guy she used to be engaged to who's still following her around and waiting for her to get a divorce. And that guy, I don't get mixed up with other people because he's Jimmy Stewart. So Jimmy Stewart...
And like the most Jimmy Stewart-esque he's ever been.
Look what I found. Iced and everything.
Don't you stay here, David. You go out and have some fun.
No, don't be silly. We can have fun right here.
So Jimmy Stewart is Selma's ex-fiance who she broke up with for some reason to marry this jerk guy. And he just is hoping they'll get divorced so that he can, swoop in. And he's paying off her husband to leave town.
Because he's in love with Selma.
Yes. We watched this twice before we even got this far, and it's more complicated than this.
Yeah, the first time I was pretty lost around the time that they reach the club. But the second time we watched it, the movie actually kept me up through that point because I was really paying attention, trying to figure out, okay, now this person, it's like I had a chart in my brain, like connecting all the people. And it had me up until, I think, shortly after the murder, and then the movie lost me again. But I was kind of able to piece together what was going on.
Lady, a man's been killed. I gotta find out who did it.
Surely you don't think...
How do I know what to think if nobody will tell me anything?
But it's, even though the movie's confusing, because all these movies are, it's still entertaining because of the characters.
All right, I'll see you all later. Are you Miss Charles?
Yes.
Lieutenant Abrams wants you for questioning.
Questioning.
Yes.
Don't worry, darling. I'll write you every day.
Their banter is just so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's just because we're married and we got a kick out of it, just the way they kind of like, make fun of each other and...
Her asking him to make scrambled eggs at like 3
3
o'clock in the morning.
After all, if I want scrambled eggs, I can get them for myself.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I'm not as good a cook as you are.
Uh-huh.
Don't bother about me. You go right on sleeping, darling.
The movie takes breaks every once in a while to just focus on them making scrambled eggs at 3 in the morning and bantering about it because Nick wants to get to sleep and Nora wants scrambled eggs and just watching their chemistry. So it's like the movie knows that your brain needs a break from trying to figure out the murder mystery every once in a while. And that's what I think makes this movie so much fun.
I don't think I'd kill you if you ran off with another woman.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
I might, though.
You mind? Sugar?
But we have to talk about the real drama in this movie. which is the dog's domestic problems.
When Nick and Nora come back from vacation, which they had their little dog, Asta, who's like the greatest dog ever in any movie. He comes home to his wife and he sees all the puppies there, and he finds out that she's been having puppies with a stray dog from like across the road.
He comes back and he sees all the little puppies that look like him, and then there's like one little black puppy comes out, and you see him look over, and then there's this little black dog crawling under the fence.
This whole scene, it's kind of shot in typical, 1920s, 1930s kind of slapstick, but the story it tells is just hilarious in the way everything just kind of plays out, because like your brain puts it all together one piece at a time, like, wait a second, wait, oh no.
You are not the father.
In most movies from this time period, there's always a suspicion that the wife is cheating on the husband. Like, if she's, like, talking to any other guy for, like, a second, like, he gets jealous and suspicious.
It's a very commonplace situation, really. Husband and wife aren't getting along. Husband is cold, wife is piqued. Looks for romance, finds romance, gets cold feet and writes letters. Husband and wife decide to patch up differences and go abroad. Wife drops romance overboard.
Whereas in this movie, not only is there none of that, but they kind of make fun of it here and there. Like,
yeah.
She gets a lead on one of the clues, and she goes over to this guy's apartment to talk to him. And then, like, she gets arrested by accident with this guy. And the guy who arrested her is like, what were you doing at another man's apartment? And then, like, Nick just makes, like, a whole joke out of it, where obviously he's, like, doesn't suspect her at all, but he just thinks it's really funny.
Tell him it's Nora.
She says to say it's Nora, Mr. Charles. Nora? No, sounds like a phony to me. Better throw her in the fish tank till I get down there.
Well, yeah, and there was another scene earlier during New Year's Eve where the lights all go out and they come back out and he's making out with another lady. And any other movie would have taken that in the most, I don't know, kind of distasteful way possible by having him kind of be a sleazebag. But the whole thing is completely innocent. and once he kind of realizes what's going on, he's like, oh, wait, sorry, I thought you were my wife. And they play it off as like a real kind of like a screwball situation.
Excuse me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
So I think a lot of modern movies, and especially TV shows, could really learn from Nick and Nora's chemistry. And I say this because most movies and TV have no idea what to do with committed couples. It's like if a couple's flirting or whatever, they'll drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. And when the couple finally gets married or gets in a committed relationship of some kind, they have no idea what to do with it. So they'll have like affairs and then distrust and all this conflict, and then inevitably the couple will like break up down the road. I mean, we've even seen this with a lot of like our favorite couples over time. Like Han and Leia, for example, were not together in what was that one? The Force Awakens.
Yes.
I'm losing.
That
there's
Star
too many.
Wars movie.
There's too many of them now. I don't even know it.
It wasn't all bad, was it? Huh? Some of it was good.
Pretty good.
Or Die Hard.
I was about to say Die Hard.
Die Hard's the other one where you love Holly and John, right? Are just such a great couple in the first movie, and then I refused to even watch the second movie because you told me that they weren't together anymore.
They end up getting broken up over the course of the movies, the sequels, yeah.
And how's Holly? Well, that's sad. You're divorced. Was that tough on little Jack and Lucy?
Which is really dumb, because the whole reason that you're rooting for them in the first movie is so that they can fix their marriage. So anyway, I just love the fact that in this movie we have a couple who's not having any kind of marital problems at all, but where the tension comes from is them together trying to figure out this mystery.
I'm coming with you.
Oh, not cured yet, huh?
Certainly not. Don't worry, darling. I won't be in the way.
There's nothing like that puts their relationship in danger at all.
Just wait, we say this, and then in the fourth movie, they're totally gonna break up.
I know, right? We're gonna watch the fourth movie's gonna be like terrible. We're gonna be like, this was the best movie series ever, and then the fourth one's like terrible.
I guess we should talk about the ending now.
Spoilers!
Yeah, okay, so first of all, we highly recommend this movie, and I guess it benefits you to watch the first one before watching this one. But out of the two first Thin Man movies, I absolutely
You don't really have
love
to.
the first movie. Well,
I guess you can't.
you don't have to, but it adds a lot of context to the train ride the movie opens with. I guess you don't really need to see the first one.
Shut up.
But I absolutely recommend After the Thin Man. It's a wonderful, very funny movie, very engaging movie, and it's got a few surprises up its sleeve.
It's got a great twist ending, which we're about to talk about.
Which we're about to talk about. So if you haven't seen After the Thin Man, I highly recommend that you stop watching right now, because we're going to talk about the big twist ending, which is... I was blown away, honestly. So, alright, so Jimmy Stewart plays a guy who is in love with Nora's cousin, Selma, and he is paying off her husband to leave so he can get together with Selma.
And he seems like he's like a really sweet, nice guy. He's Jimmy Stewart.
He's the most Jimmy Stewart he's ever been. Like he's playing straight up just sweet, innocent Jimmy Stewart. And we didn't expect anything because he's Jimmy Stewart.
It's Jimmy Stewart.
Don't you know what's happened?
No, what?
Not only that, so he doesn't just become the killer, he goes all out crazy. So you find out that he wanted to like make Selma go crazier and crazier to ruin her life, and then finally kill her, and then kill himself, I guess, and he just goes into all-out crazy Jimmy Stewart mode that we've never seen in any movie.
Insane!
I got 6 bullets in this gun. One for her, one for myself. Yeah, one for myself. And the rest of them for anybody that tries to stop me.
Like, he is leaning into the psychopathic madman role.
It makes me want to see more of Jimmy Stewart as a psychopath.
But it's funny because, I mean, at one point early on in the movie, it did pop into my head like, I wonder if Jimmy Stewart's the murderer. But I thought, my brain was like, no studio would allow Jimmy Stewart to be the murderer. And not only do they let him be the murderer, they let him be the most insane, deranged murderer ever.
I wanted to see you hang. I wanted to see you go gradually madder and madder and madder until the day finally came when you were going to hang.
But there's a moment when I realized where they were going with this, when Nick has that realization on his face that it's Jimmy Stewart, because he finds the clue that exposes Jimmy Stewart as the murderer, but he hasn't told anybody yet. And you see a look in his face, and all of a sudden, that's the same look I had on my face, like, wait, no way. Like, they're not going there, are they? Oh, it was so great.
It was so great.
It was so much fun. It was the perfect capper to an already wonderful screwball murder mystery.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing too, is I just feel like the acting in it is so good. I mean, not just with like Jimmy Stewart being crazy, which is awesome, but just the actor and actress playing Nick and Nora are so funny and so good and have such good chemistry together. It's great.
And all the actors around them are having a lot of fun too. I mean, they're a lot of. It's a fun cast to watch.
Yeah, we're like the old people at the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
That was one of the funniest things we've ever seen. That was what got me hooked into the movie.
Walk this way, sir. Well, I'll try.
Walk this way. This way.
This movie is awesome. Watch it. Actually, I hope you already watched it. I hope you paused the video where we told you to and watch the movie.
Yeah, if you've gotten this far into the video and you still haven't seen After the Thin Man, I still say watch it, because once again, it holds up to repeat viewings. Even knowing what's going to happen, it's not going to have the same impact as it does that first time through. But you'll get little jokes that you didn't get the first time through. You're able to follow the plot a little bit better. It's a movie that just, the more you watch it, the more you fall in love with it. And I hope that the next 3 Thin Man movies hold up to this. I kind of have my doubts, though. I'm kind of afraid to move forward with them.
Yeah, well, the third one wasn't as good. The third one was fun. Like, the third one was plenty fun.
There's our review for Another Thin Man.
Another Thin Man. So the first Thin Man was fun. The second one was amazing. The third one was fun, but not as good as the first 2. And we'll see what 3 through. I guess now we have to do more reviews.
More Thin Man reviews. Subscribe. No, I'm not gonna. Don't f***ing subscribe if you don't want to.
Wow.
Just don't. We're doing more podcasting now. If you notice, there's some more podcasting videos up. So if you like listening to me and Katy talk for, I don't know how long these usually run, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, then listen to me and Nate and sometimes Alex talk for over an hour about movies. I don't know. Check out some of the videos. I'll put links below.
You suck. He's like the worst end title card.
I need a script. Although I'm terrible with a script. I'm terrible with a script because I sound scripted. I'm terrible without a script because I never know what to say and I stumble over myself. So I'm just a terrible YouTuber running a YouTube channel, basically.